Okay, let's get back to it. You may notice new outfit. This is the new... Hello. Oh yes, it's the Moonfire Festival. This is the new treasure map thing. You only need one of the cloth in order to craft it. And that cloth is only like 200k. So I did it. I haven't made... this doesn't have like any matching gloves, hat or pants, but it does have matching boots, which I have not taken. It feels weird that I can see the red outline in there. It makes me feel like I own that plot as well, but I don't. I do not. Right, but today's objectives are we're gonna rank up with the 2 allied societies because that's something that I can do. And we're gonna do at least 1 set of role quests. That is all that I have planned. I'll be honest. If we do more stuff, great. If we don't, meh. Hey, Ravioli. Oh, did you see? The plants Angia brought from Charlian are growing. They're actually growing. All's going to plan so far, yes. But overconfidence begets error. In truth, we've detected evidence of harmful insects upon our crops recently. Insects? Can't we just stamp them out? If only it was so simple. Everyone you find represents another hidden 10, another 100. Indeed, we may be facing an infestation of thousands if left unchecked. Which is why we must find a companion plant for our crops post-haste. As the name suggests, companion plants support each other's growth in myriad ways, not least of all in deterring pests. While the samples I've brought with me should thrive in this particular etheric environment, their efficacy against local fauna has yet to be tested. We'd be wise to pick a local variety of plant for the job instead. In other words, we need a plant native to these forests that will repel those insects. Precisely. Might you have any suggestions? What about trees of living light? You mean those large trees that cling to meteorites, correct? I'm uncertain how we'd replicate the phenomena near our granary, not to mention the time it would take for such trees to reach maturity. What about a branch bearer? It looks like a bird, but it's actually an ambulatory plant. I've heard it emits these great bursts of energy to ward off pests. Sounds like it may well be worth our time to capture one. Can you do it? Leave it to me. We Dotpro are used to taming all sorts of beasts, not just weavers. But on the off chance the creature becomes aggressive, I'll need someone to back me up in a fight. Can you come? Then I'll leave the matter to you both. In the meantime, I'll investigate the scope of the damage done by these insects. The sooner we return, the better. Let's meet up northwest of Golmajit Grove. We're sure to find branch bearers there. It's fucking warm. Hey Geeky, you are Puddle? I am trying to avoid Puddle, which is why no webcam and green screen today. Because I have to close the window when I stream, because otherwise not only can everyone on the street hear me, but you can hear everything on the street. So yeah, it's not great. You're placed firmly in front of a fan. Well, this room doesn't get great circulation when the window's closed. So what I've had to do is place the fan in the hallway, which is considerably cooler, to push the cold air into this room. Because I have yet to find anywhere that I can put the fan in this room that will draw in air from the hallway instead of just circulating the hot air around. Which is still better than nothing, but it doesn't stop it from being a pocket of fucking warm. There should be plenty of branch bearers around here. They mimic birds to attract carnivores, then leech energy from their would-be predators. In theory, either of us could act as a decoy to lure them over, but that may well end in violence. Taming creatures is about trust, after all, not physical dominance. I'd like to make it an offering instead, something rich in the energies it likes. Are you up to the task? Excellent. Then could you bring me some glowing mineral water from Cenote Neozote? Contact with the meteorite should make it particularly potent. While you tend to that, I'll scout out a good candidate. Did you find something our branch bearer might like? Even richer in energies than I imagined. The rest you can leave up to me. I'll show you a traditional Dopro taming at its best. First, you hurl a water balloon at them, and then whilst they're confused, you jump on their back. Here it comes. Yeah. That was quick. There, little one. I'm glad you accepted my gift. It represents the bond we share as beings of this forest. All's well that ends well, as you can see. Not to say I emerged completely unscathed, but so it goes sometimes. Once it realized I meant no harm, we came to an understanding. The Dopro magics I cast on what you brought me certainly didn't... Oh, fuck. Ugh. The Dopro magics I cast on what you brought me certainly didn't hurt my chances either. Anyway, let's have Angia take a look and see if our new friend will benefit our garden. So I can also already guess that the mount-related daily is just going to be... It's going to kind of be like the Kongmato, or Kongomato, or whatever the fuck it was, the bug thing from the Vath. Where you flew it around and then sprayed patches of crops and shit to tell the bugs to fuck off. Don't yawn, you'll set me off. The fact that just the sound can set you off is one of the interesting psychosomatic properties of a yawn, isn't it? It's also a good test for neurodivergence, because if you don't feel the urge to yawn when you see someone else yawn, that's a good sign that you're neurodivergent. Or a psychopath. I've studied my share of seedkin, but I've never seen anything quite like this specimen. It's a marvel. I hope it can help with our pest problem. Well, it's made itself right at home. An etheric emission so potent you can see it. No doubt this is an instinctual measure taken against irritants. And given its amicable behavior, it seems keen on protecting us as well. If we can direct its attentions to our granary, I dare say the plague of insects won't stand a chance. Will you help us protect our little garden? Ah! I'll take that as a yes. I'll have my colleagues tame more of these fine creatures. Wonderful. Let us coordinate our efforts with the branch bearers to create a hospitable environment for our crops. Uh-huh. Potent emission, huh? Apparently, yeah. Le Petit Noir. Just explodes all over the place. You seem the best of friends, do they not? You were successful in befriending beneficial companions to the granary. Thanks to the branch bearer's etheric emissions, Golma's crops are no longer harrowed by pests. Mamook's first harvest brings with it both wonder and delight. Continue your efforts to help support the Mamuja and their burgeoning hopes. Okay, what do you sell now? Oh, Jesus. What? 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 Already? Okay. Definitely wasn't expecting to get a mount that quick. Wrong. Wrong. After. So good to see you again. Thanks to you, the Tarali Travel Agency is almost ready to open for business. Though, truth be told, we've already taken our first booking, and so soon after we started promoting our services in Tuliolal. A momentous occasion indeed. Our first customer is Hetzaro named Sia. Apparently, he works the Wing of Reflection in the capital. He's travelling by alpaca and should arrive any moment now. I'd like you to join me in giving him a warm Kozama Uka welcome. I've got a few loose ends to tie up here, but I'll join you by the entrance when I'm done. So, see ya, I presume. Welcome. How was your journey? Well met, Liplu. Thanks to my fuzzy friend here, I had a delightful trip. Speaks volumes that you've partnered with the porters to ensure your customers are well cared for. What a spectacular place this is. The journey alone has raised my expectations. Such breathtaking views. Yes, fog. I've always longed to explore Yoktaral, but I lacked the courage to take that first step. So when I heard of your venture, Leaplu, I couldn't believe my luck. I look forward to seeing what you've got in store for me. You won't soon forget your time here. That's a Tarali Travel Agency guarantee. Well, without further ado, let's get you registered. If you head to reception, I'll be with you shortly. I have a small favor to ask. Sia's requested a guided tour, and I'd hate for something to happen to our very first guest. Having you keep an eye on things would take the weight off my mind. May I impose upon you to accompany Sia and his guide as they explore the local area? Excellent. Well, I better go and deal with paperwork. Come find me when you're ready. Just to confirm, you've booked the Hanu Hanu Culture Experience, correct? That's right. If I could squeeze in a spot of fishing too, that'd be wonderful. I'm a keen angler in my spare time, you see. Absolutely. In that case, we can stop by Breath Between on our route. But first, I'll give you a thorough tour of our village. Now, customer safety is paramount for the Tarali Agency, which is why our special advisor After will be joining you. You were part of the Dawn Servant's entourage during the Rite of Succession, weren't you? Everyone at the Wing of Reflection knows your exploits well. How reassuring that you'll be watching over us. Likewise, it's heartening to have you with us. And on that note, shall we make our way to Okanu? Safe travels. I hope you have a wonderful time. Yep, this sounds like a rip-roaring time. how fucking far am I having to go? Jesus. Okay, I should have realized that they said Okhanu and just teleported to Okhanu. I figured something was going to happen on the way. During the Rite of Succession, Dawn servant Wook Lamat helped us restore the lifting of wings, Ikihana, to its former glory. This is the float that was repaired for the festival. Ah, I'd heard tales, but to see the real thing's something else entirely. I'm starting to get a sense of how important reeds are to the Hanu Hanu, not to mention how many different things you use them for. Cooking, construction, the list goes on. Fascinating. Nothing could make me happier than seeing other Turali take an interest in our culture. That alone makes this job worthwhile. Now that you've visited Okhanu, let's head for Breath Between and see if those fish are biting today. Oh, and in case you were wondering, we even use reeds as bait. Sia's tour's progressing smoothly, and the pair have set off for a spot of fishing at Breath Between. Continue to keep an eye on them, before someone devours them. Isn't every day you get to cast your line in such beautiful surroundings. I'll be coming back with my own gear, that's for sure. We Hanu love to feel the wind in our feathers as we fish. It is as though we are cradled by Kishahi's divine protection from head to talon. Hey, I don't suppose you know of any fishing spots off the beaten trail? There are a fair few anglers here beside us, and I haven't had a single bite yet. Perhaps Cave Kikitola would fit the bid. It's a modest walk away, but the fish are plentiful, and one may cast their line in peace and quiet. It sounds perfect. If it's not too much trouble, I'd love to make the trip. My only concern is the fiends, but I ought to do all I can to accommodate Sia's wishes. Of course, let's make our way there. Onward, to Cave Kikitola. Sia seems to be enjoying the tour so far, but danger may be afoot. Follow the pair to the cave and keep an eye on them to stop them from getting raped by various things. I mean, it's right here. Damn it. If I was a tank, I probably could have done that. With the gold. It's fine. The sound of flowing water echoes throughout the cavern as you scan your surroundings and listen intently for signs of trouble. Fortunately, no beasts reveal themselves to you. In the darkness, something hungers. A foul presence draws near with murderous designs. Oh. Hello. I don't know if I've seen your design before. What an excellent catch. Thanks for bringing me here. Oh no, the pleasure's all mine. If it pleases you, we can have the cook serve your fish as your next meal, and leftovers may be dried and prepared as a treat for the journey home. Hi, that sounds absolutely lovely. And with that, let us return to Doc Poga. Thank you again for standing watch on our tour. Okay, so now let's just teleport there. Nice and easy. Ah, welcome back. Sia and Zelihali just returned. What a wonderful experience. Now, not only did I learn about the area and its people, but the tour was tailored to my every whim. This will be the talk of Tuliolal. That said, I couldn't help but notice one glaring flaw. You're aware of what I speak, aren't you? Did something happen during the tour? I may have had to dispatch a few ravenous fiends. You did indeed, albeit so swiftly I never felt as though I was in danger. You dealt with these fiends by yourself. Are you alright? There are a few who could have handled the creatures so effortlessly. That's where the problem lies. One day, you'll take your leave of the Turali travel agency, and they'll be hard-pressed to find someone of comparable skill. How then is the agency to ensure the safety of future guests, I wonder? See what you're saying. Having After here with us is truly a blessing, but not a blessing we can rely upon forever. Exactly. Customer safety should be a core pillar of your business. You'll need stronger measures in place to account for any dangers that may arise. I should mention that the Wing of Reflection considers tourism to be a vital part of our nation's future, all the more so as we forge ties with foreign powers and promote the exchange of cultures moving forward. Complications notwithstanding, I'm glad I could personally experience the joys of sightseeing. Please don't hesitate to consult with us so we may iron out any other issues and nurture this industry together in the months and years to come. We should be glad to do so. And may I say that devising a security plan that doesn't require a resident adventurer will be a top priority. I feel ashamed. Never crossed my mind that entrusting our safety to After alone might be a problem. I'd like to do my part to protect our guests during their stay. I think I speak for all my fellow guides when I say that. Perhaps our special advisor would be willing to train us. Wonderful idea. Your skill with wind magics is a boon for sure, but your local knowledge and experience dealing with the region's fiends makes you all the more qualified for this duty. Still, to be safe, I propose we assign 2 guides per tour group. That way, we may alleviate the burden and better guarantee group safety. Though we'll need proper facilities, a place to train and space to house supporting staff. Could amount to quite the expenditure. My inner abacus is clucking away. It's telling me that this is a prime investment opportunity. made possible because we identified the problem early. Of course, we're still counting on your help after. There's plenty to be done beside guide training and warding off fiends. We may have welcomed our first customer, but the real test is yet to come. Ah. A new guide training facility has been established at the Terali Travel Agency's base of operations, where candidates may look to your example as they hone their skills. The new policy of assigning 2 guides to each group will ensure none come to harm in your absence. Continue assisting Leap Blue and her associates, and ensure visitors leave refreshed, reinvigorated, and ready to spread the word about Kozama Uka's all-new tourist enterprise. How you doing, Scott? That's not that one. Ah, oh. Okay. Sure. I'm getting stuff much earlier than I would have gotten it for any of the other societies, I feel like. It's not really a complaint, though. I've already done my custom deliveries for the week. Good, good, good. Haven't done Blue Mage. Oh. Oh yeah, because I did last week's on Monday, just before reset, that's why. Okay. Let's head to Tuliolo then. It looks like it's time to get started on those role quests, which are probably going to be long. Long. Okay, so is this... I guess maybe I've just not unlocked them yet? Or is it... is that... No? Okay, yeah, I've just... not unlocked it yet. Fair enough. After, I was wondering when you'd be along. Not a moment too soon either. I've got an urgent job that needs doing, and there's no one else I'd entrust it with. And I keep fucking stumbling over my words today. Of course, you'll be wanting to know the details. It's a long story, so why don't you grab a seat over there? I'll join you shortly. Now that we're all settled, allow me to introduce myself properly. I'm Brook Evu, proprietor of Jalbayev Tie. As you know, my establishment is open to anyone. People hailing from across Thrall, and sometimes further, come here to whet their appetite and slake their thirst. Given how we turn no one away, it's inevitable that a few bad apples might mix into my motley patrons. And therein lies the rub. A particularly rotten bunch was here not long ago. Sitting just over there, in fact, and having a conversation most foul. Thank you all for coming here, so far from your respective homes. As this is the first time we've all gathered in one place, perhaps formal introductions are in order. I mean... hey. I am... Welcome, welcome. What'll you be having? Could we have a moment, please? We're in the middle of something very important. She's gonna stick her hand up again, isn't she? Now then, where was I? Ah yes, I am Apyahi. If you're sitting here now, it's because I have personally invited you to the Passage of the Unbound, my secretive, villainous order with ambitions to sow discord throughout the world. How you doing, Tingles? Villains do not often call themselves such. Nor do secret orders have their meetings in places where all eyes can see. What do you know? Your snide remarks only ruin my carefully constructed atmosphere. If I had time to think of a suitable slogan, you would understand that words are everything. But I digress. I invited you all here for one reason. To throw the world into a mire of chaos, and then watch its nations crumble. What else would we call ourselves if not villainous? My only interest is to punish all who dare to mock and belittle me. So long as I can achieve that, you can call me whatever you like. The rich, the powerful, the mighty, all shall be crushed under the weight of my ire. A grand design for a group of 6. Even if we manage to muster others to our side, there's a limit to what we can accomplish. I regret to say you are right. At present, we are bound and powerless. That is why, in order to raise our fists against our oppressors, we must find the strength to shatter our shackles. And in so doing, we shall become unbound. Like the birds soaring up above, we shall take flight and spread our wicked wings, staining the azure skies black. It's raining. Ah, but sometimes skies become treacherous with clouds, and even birds must rest. You speak of finding strength. Is that why we're here? To look for it? If so, then I pledge my aid. With newfound might at my beck and call, I shall win adoration known only by a hero. Your eagerness is heartening, and you are correct. The tools to make our goal of reality lay in Tural. Across this continent can be found certain artifacts which possess untold powers. What an eclectic crew. Did you say artifacts? Oh, I sense an adventurous hunt for instruments of devious devilry ahead. My imagination's overflowing with images of the new forms my trickery might take. I dare say the world is not ready. Yes, well, to get to the heart of the matter, the objects are held by the disparate tribes which make their homes in the Turali continent, where they have been passed down through generations as sacred treasures. Whatever stories these people have attached to their so-called treasures matters not. Each contain the essence of fearsome beasts called Tural Vidral, and with them in our possession, none shall be able to stand against us. We shall take the objects for ourselves, bring them across the sea, and use them to undermine nations far and wide. The means by which you each choose to do so, I leave in your hands. I only ask that you do not disappoint. I take it there are no questions. Then let the passage of the unbound open unto the world. We begin at once. Ah yes, the League of Semi-Evil Weirdos. It seems so. The Mammoteer is an interesting one. They didn't order a single thing. I mean, I know that seeing mammoths about isn't exactly new, but if they're using it for combat, that would be interesting because I don't think we've seen that in 14. That's an 11 job. That's the long and short of it. What do you think? They might lack discretion, but they seem formidable nonetheless. They're left without ordering anything. Villainous indeed. How dare they? It's right there in their name. They're unbound by manners and respect, and won't be welcome back here anytime soon. You, on the other hand, can stay as long as you like. Thanks. But, okay. Of course, we had a duty to report what we heard to the Landsguard. We did, but it didn't make a damn difference. As soon we learned those underwelcome guests had teeth. Not long ago, one individual from a remote tribe came here seeking help recovering a stolen relic. Then another came with the same story. Then another, and so on. By the time we realized the passage of the Unbound was a real threat, they had one and all made their way across the sea with their ill-gotten gains. Oh, okay, so we're going to head back to Eorzea? Each tribe sent one of their own to recover what was lost. Being in strange lands, they're at a disadvantage. That's why I've been looking for someone who knows every corner of Eorzea and beyond. Now, I know you've business in Tural, or else you wouldn't have been here in the first place. But if you could take the time to hear Ral Mujan out, you'd be doing a service to many who could really use a helping hand. Hiya! Okay, so they've stolen the Dragon Balls. And now we need to get the balls back. Greetings. Allow me to thank you personally for lending your assistance in this matter. We've been quite desperate for someone suitable. Greetings, Dralmujan. At the risk of becoming a daily nuisance, I must ask, have there been any developments you might share? Nuisance? Perish the thought. You've come just in time, in fact. None other but the vaunted After has agreed to aid the search. Finally, a fortunate turn. As long as our sacred treasures are in wicked hands, our homes shall know no peace. To say nothing of the danger they pose to other nations. These thieves really do intend to stir up chaos across the seas, then you'd better depart on the next ship. But before you do, it might be proper to introduce you to those who have come to Tuliolal in search of aid. Lo as a Nikwe there comes from a village far to the north. A single warrior cannot hope to withstand the power of her tribe's relic. So she requires a stout protector, someone that can be leaned upon when times are darkest. The heirloom that Nipine must recover afflicts terrible maladies upon its victims. He seeks someone who commands great healing magics to counteract this effect. The search for Shashempia's tribal treasure has been entrusted to a peerless hunter. She requires someone to act as a frontline fighter who can distract her targets while her bow takes deadly aim. And lastly, there's Suhe, who knows little about her people's ancient artifact, aside that it must not fall into the wrong hands. She seeks a mage of great power, but anything beyond that lies shrouded in mystery. Aren't you forgetting someone, Rahulja? Your crisis is just as pressing, even if you don't say so yourself. Rahulja hails from further south than even Mamuk, has travelled many days and nights in search of someone who can strike down their prey from afar. It's the only way to escape the effect of his village's treasure. Did I get that right? Indeed, indeed. I do get so forgetful in my old age. Thank you, Ral Majun. 5 tribes, 5 stolen treasures. All are waiting for the aid of a brave soul. Hopefully that can be you. Of course, I'll share all I know on the matter. You only need ask. And no, I will not hold it against you should you choose to assist only those with whom your talents are best suited. So long as you can do what you can, the people of Taral, and maybe even further, will be in your debt. You've gained access to the role quests. Okay, so where should we start first? What am I actually using that I might want to die? Maybe that's a good first step. I am wearing most of this set, so yeah, let's start with DPS. These will take a while. Yep. Bunny. That doesn't look like the same bunny. That is not the same bunny. Okay. I know that it's going to take a while. That's why I'm kind of only expecting to get one of them done today. I think if they're anything like the Endwalker and earlier ones, each set might take like 2 hours. Hello there. I take it you've spoken with Brokivu. Willing to lend a hand? I'm truly grateful. Then allow me to introduce myself. I am Shashepia, and I've travelled far from my village in the forests of Jacques Taral in search of a brave soul to help us retrieve our stolen treasure. You have to do all of these for an emote. There'll be some kind of a reward for doing all of them, of course, but I don't know. For generations have my people watched over the Dreamweave cocoon, the vessel in which the power of the swallow-tailed Taral Vidral is sealed. Before its ascension, the swallowtail warded off would-be predators by assuming the form of more threatening butterflies, poisonous ones and the like, through its skill at mimicry. So it survived day after day, summer after summer, until the dawn of its great new existence. It became capable of taking on the form of any creature which crossed its path. This fearsome power was sealed within the cocoon, and any who possess it command the self-same abilities. Indeed, the wielder too may assume the form of any manner of beast or man they've beheld. Yet this mimicry is not limited to merely physical forms. No, the wielder may replicate the talents and abilities of their target, so long as such actions fall within their ken, that is. In an instant, they may become master of the hunt, a twin-blade wielding viper, or a savage brash. It is this power which has protected my village from the predators of the forest. For though it grants many boons, the forest contains threats in equal measure. By donning the skins of its most formidable beasts, we've kept ourselves safe for generations. Without the cocoon, my village's very survival is at risk. That is why we have sent our foremost hunter, Itoka, to ensure it is reclaimed. She's never failed to capture her quarry, so I thought she would make short work of this ordeal. Yet there's been no word from her. Fear this may be a hunt she cannot undertake alone. It is for that reason I wish to enlist the aid of one familiar with the lay of the land beyond the Great Sea, and one whose prowess in close quarters would complement her expertise with the bow. One of the villagers ran into the thief before he fled and said he intended to use the cocoon's power in Kugane, which I understand is the name of a large settlement located far, far to the east. Please, for the sake of my home, set out for this eastern habitation and assist Itoka with retrieving the cocoon. As long as you're willing to cover my teleportation expenses. Forgive me, but what is teleportation? Well, if it is a required expense, rest assured that Toka will compensate you for it. She's been entrusted with a fair sum of the village's combined reserves. Whatever she needs to track down this villain, she will have, and so shall you. Upon arriving in the Eastern Land, search for a Riviera woman carrying a bow and dressed in similar attire to myself. Why are you calling her Riviera? Shouldn't you call them Shaolani? If you visit a tavern like this one, I dare say you may find someone who's seen her. Like, yeah, we call them Vieira, but you would call them Shaolani. That feels weird. It's not as weird as mana and ether. With, in Okhanu. Welcome to the Shiokaze Hostelry. How may I serve you? You're searching for someone. As a matter of fact, I do distinctly remember seeing a Vieira woman of that description earlier. But I'm afraid I couldn't tell you where she may be now. She's dead, Jim. A lass from Tral, was it? Sorry, can't help you. That reminds me though, I heard Tral has its own local variety of spirits called Mezcal. I'm meaning to taste it myself for an age now. You've no idea how hard it is to get one's hand on a bottle of it here. Vieira woman bearing a bow. Why, yes, I do recall such a person. It was hard not to notice her, really, given how she was peering at every little thing. If she came from the distant lands to the west, no doubt Kugane is quite the unusual sight for her. With any luck, she'd still be where I saw her, in the vicinity of the Sekisagumi barracks. Yeah, work it. Go on. Sup? The city is simply too large for me to cover alone. Perhaps it's time I returned home. Sup? I've come to aid your search, Titoka. Oh, is that right? I'm grateful, but why? Someone asked me to, duh. I see. Shashetia always was a worrywart. Won't deny I appreciate the help, though ascertaining the whereabouts of the cocoon has been no easy task. I managed to secure room and board in this lodging after arriving in Kugane, and have been using it as a base to track down the thief ever since. I'll tell you all I know. According to an eyewitness from my village, the thief is a middle-aged Hyuran male. That's all we have to go on regarding his appearance. Yet, so long as he possesses the cocoon, he can be anyone and anything. An elderly woman traipsing along the street, a child throwing a ball, mayhap even the dog chasing after it. Truth be told, I was nigh at wit's end trying to find him. That is, until I discovered that a series of unusual squabbles have been occurring around the city. After investigating these incidents, I found no commonality. The instigator in each case invariably had no recollection of the incident, let alone of inciting it. What's more, eerie accounts have begun to circulate among the residents. Some folk claims they've somehow been seen in two places at once. Based on all this, I believe the thief's been using the Dreamweave cocoon to transform into innocence and spread discord throughout the city. It stands to reason we can find him by following the trail of chaos left in his wake, no? And yet even should we apprehend him in whatever form he's hidden himself within, there's nothing to stop him from feigning ignorance. Besides a secret remedy, of course. The recipe for an elixir which can forcibly remove the cocoon's enchantment has been passed down in my village for emergencies like this. I made sure to prepare a few vials before making the voyage here. I need simply throw the solution at the suspect and the cocoon's weave of mimicry will unfurl on the spot. That covers everything. Now, what say we see if there's any trouble afoot? The thief will undoubtedly not be far from it. Let me know when you're ready. We'll catch him together. Ready to set off then? Perfect. I say we begin our search with the markets. I recall a great number of people gathering in the Rakusa district, I believe it was called. Okay, yeah, escorting. I know how it works. I have done it before. To think all of this was wrought by mortal hands. Remarkable. My people have ever lived in harmony with nature, but that doesn't mean we condemn the way of those who choose otherwise. In fact, in the brief time I've been exposed to settlements like this, I've come to see such places have their merits too. Look, you thieving whoreson, I told you this isn't enough! But sir, that cannot be right. I'm sure I gave you your change in full. Enough! Hand over my money or I'll take it by force. The customer is suspicious. Clerk is suspicious. Let's keep watching. But isn't it obvious? No one gets so worked up over a handful of coins, unless they're looking for trouble. Reveal yourself, villain! It wasn't him. What in the blazes do you think you're doing? Very sorry. Sorry. Oh, dear. Thousand apologies, sir. I gravely miscalculated your change. I'll return what you're owed immediately. I beg your forgiveness. I apologize for the disturbance. How dreadfully embarrassing. Well, Hunter doesn't quit after a single arrow misses its mark. Best not to dwell on that one. And instead focus on our next course of action. Let's see how things fare on Kogane Dori. Bear with me a moment. I think I need to close the window downstairs before I get another tomcat coming in. One sec. Turns out, if you never actually open the thing, you don't have to close it. Good to know. We already did that one. Okay. It didn't disappear. Can't believe how impossibly vast it is. My jaw dropped when I first saw it. I could hardly fathom where the horizon ended and the sea began. Before arriving in Tuliolal, I'd imagined the sea to be merely a larger, saltier body of water than the lake back home. There we would race from shore to shore. To attempt the same here, I fear, would have fatal results. Yeah. Well, it depends which shore, but pretty much, yeah. I'll cut you down where you stand, you lecherous lummox. What's going on here, then? What's going on here, then? The big bloke yonder allegedly laid his hands on the grizzled fella's woman. Afraid this may come to blows. Calm yourself, man. I have not done what she claims. You dare add insult to injury by calling her a liar? Ignore him, I told you, that pig defiled me. Cut him down this instant. There's no truth to her words. Wherefore does she spout such rubbish? Kami, give me strength. Cut the bloody brute down already! Yes, naught less than your head shall serve as penance for your crimes. Very well. Let my blade prove my innocence. It's her, right? Probably. It was. Was that really necessary? No matter, I was growing weary of this petty farce. It's time I moved on to bigger and better things. Oh, no you don't! God damn it. Jesus. Close. And straight back to, yep. Typical Namazu. How odd. My bow is more out of tune than I realized. Sweetheart. Is it really you? Oh, thank the Kami you're safe. Found her lying unconscious in a nearby alleyway. She could only vaguely recall being attacked from behind before losing consciousness. So the villain knocked her out before assuming her visage in a ploy to deceive her husband. Fell for the deception like a complete and utter fool. Do not even know how to begin to make amends. There are no amends to be made. You simply acted as any husband would. Due to your involvement, this matter was resolved without bloodshed. The Sekisagumi, thank you. It is regrettable, however, the villain managed to escape. A criminal who can change their shape at will is exceedingly dangerous. Know that the Sekisagumi will alert the populace to this menace, and remain vigilant for any suspicious activity in the city. Let's return to my lodgings. I'd like to go over where we stand with our elusive quarry. As predicted, the thief has been using the cocoon's power of mimicry to incite conflict around the city. What he hopes to accomplish by doing so, however, is still unclear. And so long as he has that power, the sole means of tracking him remains the havoc left in his wake. A trying trail for any hunter, but I'm heartened to have a warrior like you beside me as I tread it. We'll catch him together, and when we do, we'll mete out the justice he deserves. Good to see you. For better or worse, I haven't heard about any unusual incidents in Kugane since our last altercation with the thief. That was literally 5 minutes ago. There may be a reason for that. Do you remember when he claimed he was moving to bigger and better things? If we're to catch him, we may have to expand the scope of our search beyond Kugane. Yet he travelled all the way from Thrall to this eastern land for a reason. I can't imagine he'd go too far. Do you know of any other settlements nearby? The Ruby Sea's dotted with settlements. People live out in those waters, but they're so vast. Where would we even begin? So the Bakufu has an outpost at the Ruby Price. That sounds like the perfect place to start. Let's make our way there and avail ourselves of the soldiers' intel. If anything out of the ordinary has occurred, no doubt they'll be aware of it. Shall we? I should be able to just teleport. Well, this is unexpected. What brings you to the Ruby Price? Disputes? Strange you should ask. Not even a moon ago, the waters of the Ruby Sea were poised to turn a sanguinary shade. Please, tell us everything. A Confederate skiff approached the Ruby Price without authorization, and its occupant began hurling insult after insult in an obvious attempt to provoke us. We didn't succumb to their provocations, however. After warning the vessel we'd fire if they drew an ilm closer, they withdrew without a word. However, should they attempt to provoke us again, we'll not display the same level of restraint. The roar of our cannon shall signal their comrades to rally in full force. The waters will flow red. Of that there can be no doubt. Tensions run high. Not like this has ever occurred. I see. Thank you for the information. Might we speak privately? Based on the testimony just now, I gather there's an agreement in these waters the Confederates are not to draw near the Ruby Price, guarded as it is by Bakufu sentries. In that case, then as the soldier stated, I can only conclude that the vessel earlier was attempting to incite a dispute between the two factions. Which fits the modus operandi of our quarry, wouldn't you say? Perhaps it was he who sailed here under the banner of the Confederates. Whatever the case may be, we've nothing but conjecture. We'll need solid evidence before we can alert the soldiers here to this threat. I doubt they'll heed our warnings otherwise. First, we need to verify if any members of the Confederacy actually approached the Ruby Price. Do you know where their base of operations can be found? Sakazuki. Looks like it should be the fastest way for us to swim there. What? Absolutely not. Not one of my Confederate brothers and sisters would approach the ruby price without authorization. Those cowardly Bakufu dogs must have concocted this baseless rumor to get a rise out of us. Soldiers at the ruby price said that, did they? Pardon my language, but that's a load of shite. We've no interest in Hingan waters. If anything, I've seen their skiffs encroaching on our territory of late. If you ask me, they're the ones thirsty for blood. There you are. Listen to what this person has to say. The situation's more grave than we thought. I'm thankful you came. Not a moment too soon. Captain Rasho ain't been acting himself, you see. Normally, where he goes, Tansu goes. Not today. He showed up just earlier by his lonesome and orders us gather as many heads as possible to join him on the Isle of Becco to attend to some pressing business. Normally, I'd oblige the captain without a moment's hesitation, but I had a feeling something weren't right, so I asked him what manner of business. We're going to set the ruby price ablaze, he says. The bloody ruby price! Tried speaking some sense into him, but he weren't of mind to listen. Walked off saying he has no need of craven bastards like me. Look, I don't know what's gotten into the captain, but it can't be anything good. Please, go to the Isle of Becco and stop him and my comrades before it's too late. This Rasho acting strangely can't be a coincidence. We need to get to that island quickly. Do you know the way? Got it. Haven't got a moment to waste. Oop. I hear voices. Seems they've gathered up ahead. The scum think they can encroach on our territory and get away with it. I'll be damned if we let them. Tonight, we lay siege to the ruby price and seize it for ourselves. But are you sure? If we do this, we won't just be starting a battle, we'll be starting a war. You've been acting strange, Captain. What's gotten into you? Silence! Didn't ask for your bloody opinion. Those lying dogs claim it was us breaching the agreement. I say we give the bastards what they deserve. You're not welcome here. Be gone if you value your lives. You're a terrible actor. Saw through my disguise once again. Don't tell me you count even a pirate captain among your acquaintances. What are you trying to accomplish? Why incite such conflict wherever you go? Why? Sorry to disappoint you, but contrary to the passage of the Unbound's prattling about freeing the world from tyranny of government, I have no grand designs. I wish merely for everyone to show their true faces. Folk love to put on airs of sophistication and virtue, but push them toward the edge and their masks slip off to reveal the monster underneath. They'll go for their neighbour's jugular to save their own skin. You've seen it for yourselves. It's quite the spectacle. And let me guess, you're gonna miss again? Yep. What the fuck? Why is it always the Namazu? Damn it, the winds are too strong. Are you sure about that? Man of a thousand faces is a true menace indeed. We'll return to Onokoro forthwith to alert the captain. Rest assured the Confederacy will be keeping a close watch over the Ruby Sea. I didn't think for a moment he was an imposter, and the lies he spouted about the Bakufu soldiers were enough to make my blood boil. To think, what would have happened had you not been here to stop us? Kami bless you. All he wants is to expose people's so-called true faces. That he would use the cocoon for such a petty cause. Unthinkable. Let's return to Kugane for the time being. Back to Kugane it is. You're at War Cause and More. Welcome to join if I need a battle break. Performance anxiety, for real, for real. I could do War Cause and More, yeah. What do you want me to play? Probably DPS. By the looks of it, yes. Yay. I didn't think it would let me use the Ethernet. I know, I'm being that DPS. But it's fine when I do it. Shocking. Soz. It's been a little while since I last did summer. don't really know if I'm doing a good job, but I'm pressing buttons. And sometimes that's just all acceptable job. Okay. I'm glad I'm acceptable. Oh yeah, we're gonna see Bakul Jar Jar still being a dick, aren't we? This guy is too fucking cute though. If my mouse cannot fuck up. That would be great. I do think, unfortunately, that the mouse, the thumb pad rather, on my mouse, for the 2 and 5 keys is starting to die. Very sad. Big rip. Kinda just got sleepy. Oh, Phoenix down. I forgot they changed those. I should probably buy some now that they start. I know I've not been using the thing that makes it so I can get my essences or whatever the fuck quicker. I need to do that for the next boss. But it's fine. Later, Zaraja. You can't. I'm in danger. Stop jumping. The jumping isn't an issue of, like, buttons not working. That's just me resting my thumb on my spacebar. That's just a bad habit that I have with a set of switches that is too sensitive to do that with. Yeah, I accidentally jump all the fucking time. And usually interrupt casts. It's great. Now, can I live this time? Why do we get a Volner? Well, I don't have any more. Well, I'm a little bit surprised I lived. I kind of expected that I was gonna die in that one too. I get it. Fucking die. Fucking 2 buttons. Stop fucking up.
You are worthy to rule. Chronicles of air, we tear the hunger of roiling waters.
Whee!
Chronicles of End. Recount the fury of erupting beasts. take the measure of your resolve. Implacable strength of the mountain, be mine! Spirit of my brethren, your thunder roars! That you should endure my fury. Chronicles of Hell, recall the cruelty of merciless storms.
Fucking die! Fucking die! Is it just me or is our DPS felt low? I say that as the DPS. I may be the problem. Nice rescue. Rescue death whilst I'm stuck in the limit break animation. Great stuff. Whilst I'm here, seemed a perfect moment. Yeah, it wasn't bad. A great way to end that dungeon. That is that's Kaina's chocobo, but I've been tending to it in order to try and Where is the bow? There's the bow. I'm almost halfway there. Do you need to level it up again? It reaches a cap and prevents more training. Nah, you should be fine. You should be fine. But I'm about halfway through the training. Damn it! Oh, I can't believe a bastard like that. Ah, give me. I find myself more disgusted with that villain each time we see him. To think all of this is driven by small-minded spite. From what I could gauge, he didn't fly towards Kugane during his escape. I believe he seeks a new settlement to terrorize. Now the Confederacy and I are acquainted, I see if they can't help sniff out his roost. No doubt where there's smoke, he'll be there stoking the fire. And I suppose I'll use this period to tend to my bow. Next time, my arrow will fly true. Wonderful, you're here! Ever since the incident in the Ruby Sea, I've kept a line of communication with the Confederacy, and they just reported something you'll be interested to hear. Apparently, a man impersonating the distinguished Lord of Doma was recently exposed. One of the Lord's retainers saw through the pretender's facade while he was attempting to stir up trouble in the Doman Enclave. The imposter then reportedly transformed into a hawk and fled. Clearly, our quarry now rests in Doma. I'd like to resume our hunt immediately, but I'm not sure where he may go after this failure in the Enclave. Do any locations come to mind? I am fucking up all of my words. A town in Yangsha called Namai, you say? That sounds promising. The extent of your knowledge is truly remarkable. Then, without further ado, let's make our way there and see if the residents have noticed any unusual activity. Namai! Have there been any quarrels of late? What? Yes, actually. Just the other day, the two of us were at each other's throat over a persimmon. She was only supposed to eat half, but she went and gobbled the whole thing. In the end, she purchased this one by way of an apology, so I'll let bygones be bygone. What's that? This isn't the sort of quarrel you're speaking of. Trouble? None that I can think of. For a blessing, all's been peaceful. By the Kami's grace, our quaint village has not seen strife since the Imperials were ousted. There's been news, however, of a man impersonating Lord Heian at the Enclave. As I'm told, when Lord Heian voiced intentions to invade Nangsha, all present grew wary of the individual. None more so than Lady Yugiri, who saw through the farce immediately. After he was exposed, the villain fled the scene with haste. Unfortunately, efforts to find him have not borne fruit. Come here. None of the residents I spoke with reported anything out of the ordinary. How do you fare? And it seems the villain's not here. Where might he have gone? Huh? What are you doing here? Friend of yours? Don't hang your head like we're strangers. We met just moments ago, remember? You asked me how to reach the House of the Fierce? Good grief, lass, you've lost, aren't you? I can understand your embarrassment, but I'll tell you the way again. Listen careful now. Follow the descending paths leading south out of the village until you see a small pond. Then simply dive in and swim. The House of the Fierce will be on the other side. Could he have impersonated you this time? This doesn't bode well. We must hurry. Much obliged, sir. Motherfucker. It's been a while since anyone's tried to impersonate us. Wait, what? I wasn't paying attention. Evidently. Just how far must we swim to reach this place? I dare say my days spent in the lakes back home are about to come in handy. Oh, okay, it was so that they could teleport us. My friends, it's come to my attention that the Khan of the Azim Steppes' mighty Oranir tribe conspires in the shadows to invade Doma. We must not give them the chance. Invasion would mean all-out war. There's only one solution. Under the cover of darkness, you must assassinate the Khan. Only with his death can this crisis be averted. They grow wary. Perhaps I should observe my targets more carefully. With all due respect, these allegations must be brought before Lord Heian. It's imperative we receive his instruction before acting. It would be playing right into the Oranir's hands. After all, an impostor disguised as Lord Heian has but recently been ousted. An Oranir spy, there can be no question. Yet the spy has fled, their whereabouts unknown. It could be anyone and anywhere, weaving new schemes even as we speak. Decisive action must be taken. That is why I came to you. So the impersonation of Lord Heian was but a part of the Oranir's grand scheme? Why would those who fight alongside us for Doma's liberation conspire to invade? Forgive me, but you do not seem yourself. Something isn't right. Because I'm desperate. A shadow looms over Doma, and only with your help can I cast away its dark pall. Please, lend me your strength. Dude. We are stronger than all of them. Combined. Why would we need them? Our honoured friend after risked life and limb to see Doma free, yet you address her with suspicion and doubt? If she says we must act first to prevent greater bloodshed, then we must act. It is true that she's never led us astray. Brothers and sisters, let us join hands with After once more to drive back this shadow rising over Doma. Why do I need your help? What is the meaning of this? It's that infernal Orinair spy. Quickly, kill her before she can escape. You sound nothing like me. Your charade ends here. How many more of those does she have? It's you. Such persistent vermin. You're not getting away this time. He got away this time. The problem appears to be your aim, not the bow. Huh, pathetic. You're nothing like that other girl. What was her name? Ah, yes, Itoka. She was fearsome, that one, right until the moment I drove my blade into her back. Ah, you're not the real Itoka. What is this? Don't tell me you've been masquerading around as Itoka herself. After all, that would make you no better than me. Hiding behind the name of another won't erase the blame you bear for everything that happened. What a twist! Sorry. I swear I'll explain everything to you later. For now, we should apprise these men and women of this situation. Alright, Shamalahanalaba. Shamalama Ding Dong. M. Night Shamalama Ding Dong, yeah? To think he can transform into anyone. A truly fearsome ability. I shall alert Lord Heian to this threat immediately. Rest assured that all of Doma will be on alert. I was completely fooled. I have no words to express my shame. Upon speaking with you again, I realized that though the impostor assumed your guise, he had neither your spirit nor your grace. Forgive me. I will not fall for such a farce again. Might I have a word? The man impersonating you earlier, I'd recognize his face anywhere. Without a doubt, he is Samidare, childhood friend. You know him? Please, you must tell us everything. I've known Samidare nearly my entire life. We learned the shinobi arts together, you see. Roughly 25 years ago, we engaged in our first battle as proud ninja, defending Doma against the Empire's invasion. With every fiber in our body, we met their mighty Magitech with nimble ninjutsu. As if moved by our resolve, the mighty Auspice and Guardian of Doma, Tamamo Gozen, appeared on the field of battle to aid our cause. Yet our efforts were for naught. The Empire's might fell upon Doma like a hammer, and we were crushed beneath their overwhelming force. The occupation began soon thereafter, and so too did my work from the shadows. While I devoted myself to resisting the Empire in secret, Samadari was conscripted to their army and forced to become an imperial spy. I understand he served them well, fanning the flames of war in faraway lands through rumor and manipulation. Indeed, as far back as I can recall, Samadari was ever excelled in the skill of subterfuge. It was only after the prisoner exchange that he returned to Doma at long last. He was a changed man. He could find no joy or solace in the peace he once fought to secure for our nation. Instead, he sought to disrupt it. Wars taught me the truth of this world. Civility is but a facade to hide man's savagery, and I'll prove it here in dear, dear Doma. The fool I am, I thought he was jesting. Only later, when I discovered the web of lies he'd spun to turn folk against one another, did I realize he meant every word. I tried to confront him, but he fled Doma before I had a chance. Nevertheless, I searched his home afterwards and discovered a missive from an organization called the Passage of the Unbound. I have it with me here. Dear illustrious Samadari, we extend our deepest gratitude for your interest in joining the Passage of the Unbound. With each passing day, our secret order draws closer to its goals, and we shall require exceptional talent for what lies ahead. Bearing these needs in mind, we have decided to welcome you into the fold. To celebrate the start of an auspicious future together, we invite you to meet your colleagues in Tuliolal, and have enclosed your ticket within. Exceptional talent? Exceptional egos, more like. This Passage of the Unbound kept a watchful eye on nations far and wide to recruit cutthroats like Samadari who only follow their own designs. Upon his arrival in Tural, Samadari's ambitions guided him to my home, where he stole the Dreamweave cocoon and set out to use it for his own twisted ends. I'm afraid that appears to be the way of it. In all likelihood, it is the Passage of the Unbound which alerted him to this Dreamweave's cocoon's existence. Today, Samadari attempted to incite war between Doma and the Azim Steppe by wearing the face of our dearest ally, you. Your timely appearance prevented the worst from happening. As long as he can alter his form and face at will, who can say what tomorrow may bring? His years as a secret operative have made him a master at reading people. Should he decide to study his target before taking their form, I fear his schemes may not be discovered until it's already too late. Please, be careful, and may the Kami bless and keep you. Attempting to find Samadari now would be a fruitless endeavor. He could be any bird in the sky, or any beast roaming the wild. Let us return to Kugane. I'll reveal everything to you there, I promise. Back to Kugane! I'm grateful for your help today. Once again, I let our prey slip away. The only silver lining is that we now know who he is. But more importantly, I apologize for deceiving you. As Samadari said, I'm not the greatest hunter of my home. I'm not Itoka. I am Kuyuki. Kuiki? I'm kinky. No. Okay. I'm Queeky. I hail from the same village as Itoka, and I too am a hunter. But only in name. You've seen my aim for yourself. Yet most shameful of all is that it's my fault the Dreamweave cocoon was stolen. Normally it's enshrined in the deepest recesses of our home. Only Itoka had leave to wield it. The forest provides shelter and sustenance to many, and not all we share its bounty with are friendly. When great beasts threaten our home, the cocoon's power may be used to protect our lives. Yet I used it for my own foolish desires. I couldn't take it anymore. I was a hunter, yet could barely catch prey large enough to feed myself. I was forced to wash clothes, prepare meals, and tune bows. Just once, I wanted to be acknowledged. I wanted to feel pride. So I used the cocoon's power to transform myself into Itoka. With her dexterity and finesse, I finally caught prey befitting a true hunter. And as I carried my prize home, he appeared. Found him collapsed in the middle of a beaten path. Never had reason to mistrust someone before, so I approached to nurse his wounds. Yet the moment I drew close, he knocked the cocoon from my grasp and struck me unconscious. He was long gone by the time I awoke. I confessed my sin to the village elder, and in her boundless grace, she forgave me. But I could not forgive myself. I left home that very eve in secret to pursue the thief, all the way to Kugane. After several days of fruitlessly scouring the city, who should I see but Itoka? As our most exceptional hunter, it came as no surprise the elder had charged her with recovering the cocoon. She was astonished to see me, of course. I had told no one of my actions. I feared she'd send me home, but when I expressed to her my shame, my anger, she consoled me and told me we would find the cocoon together. And I was certain we would, till the day that duplicitous bastard killed her. You appeared soon after her passing. I thought with someone as strong as you at my side, maybe, just maybe, I could avenge her. So I lied. Like Samadari said, no better than he is. I'm an imposter, but my desire to reclaim the cocoon is every bit as strong as Itoka's was. I'm so sorry for lying to you. I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me and continue to aid me in reclaiming the Dreamweave cocoon. Thank you for telling me the truth. Of course I'll help. I had my suspicions, but I also had faith in you, and it's been rewarded. How could I say no? I had my suspicions, but I also had faith in you. You're not a bad guy. You're just not Itoka. Thank you. I know with you at my side, I can keep my promise as to Itoka. For now, I'll remain vigilant for any news regarding conflict in the region. Please do pay me a visit when you find a moment to spare. I'm counting on you. Okay, yeah, this is gonna take a fucking long time. I'm so relieved to see you. I thought you might resent me for lying to you, that you might refuse to lend me your help again. I'd certainly be hard-pressed to reclaim the cocoon alone in this foreign land. I truly meant what I said before. I'm counting on you. Though I'm ashamed to admit it, when I first arrived here I was nearly swindled out of an heirloom by a talking catfish. I'd been scouring the city for a shop to pawn my choker so I could secure room and board, you see, when the catfish approached me, claiming it'd buy the necklace for a fair price, offered me a handful of coins that glittered like gold. I was about to accept the offer when Itoka appeared. In mere moments, she discerned the catfish's currency was counterfeit and ended the transaction then and there. She dragged me to the markets afterwards and pawned her own necklace to secure lodgings for the both of us. And the moment she arrived, Itoka took care of everything. What I'm trying to say is, I can't do anything on my own. I'm reckless and impulsive and just really glad to have you by my side. It's been some time, my friend. My friends, pray forgive my sudden visit, but I come bearing urgent tidings. We spoke with you at the House of the Fierce. What brings you all this way? I was able to make contact with Samidare. I told him I was willing to make amends and join my oldest friend in exposing the lies of people's hearts. He responded most eagerly and bade me meet him in secret. Wait, really? Did he say where? Aye, Hell's Lid. I had a mind to lay an ambush for him, but not knowing the extent of the power he wields, I thought it best to seek help. And so, I come here to beg your aid. Your strength and valor are unequaled, and we cannot apprehend Samidare without you. We may never get another chance to catch him unawares like this. There's no time to lose. Wait, forgive me for speaking plain, Huntress, but I fear we would only be a hindrance to after when the fighting begins. Let us go to Hell's Lid by skiff and meet her after the villain is subdued. Oh, I take your point. You're right. Without us there to distract her, after can focus wholeheartedly on the battle. Would you mind going in alone? We'll be there as soon as we can. There isn't really an easy way to get to Hell's Lid, is there? Short of... You see no sign of Samidare. Perhaps his lair is further ahead. You still see no sign of him, but you feel an unsettling... Oh, hi guys. Fuck all of y'all. So is he trying to work the... I mean, the red would be the easiest faction to goad into combat. Samidare is nowhere to be found. There's naught to do but await your companion's arrival. Hey, you alright? I came as soon as... Oh, is the battle over already? Where's Samadari? I was ambushed by a group of Red Kojin. What? So this was a trap? Wait, over there. Thank goodness. I made it. Huh. After all that time I spent in that old Kojin shell, convincing his underlings to attack you, my blade was mere ilms from the skin of your back. Alas. A meticulous plan gone to waste. It seems I underestimated your strength, and the failed huntress's tenacity. I dare say I'm outmatched, and no common beast I might mimic can stand against you. I must contemplate your deaths with more care, more rigor. Look forward to our next meeting. Forgive me, needed to catch my breath. Samadari's friend was the villain himself. As soon as the skiff made it to the open sea, he threw me overboard. Damn near to swim like a fish to make it here in time. He's made me into a fool again. He waylaid me before using a similar ruse. By the time I figured out what was what, Itoka was already... I always wondered how a craven like Samadari was able to kill her, our greatest hunter. And now I know. When Itoka felt the blade in her back and turned to see the face of her killer, he saw me. I'm glad I was able to prevent history from repeating itself. Don't want to lose you too. We should return to Kugane. Samadari may have planted more than one trap for us here. Okie dokie. Feared the worst as I rushed to reach you. The moment Samadari was in sight, I charged without thinking, which in retrospect was probably for the best. Had I tried to shoot him from afar with my bow, I might have missed, or worse yet, hit you instead. In any case, I'm just relieved you're safe. I promise to be more wary from now on, particularly of familiar faces. It hardly needs saying, but remember to keep your guard up as well. For now, I'll resume my efforts to gather information about Samadari's whereabouts. You'll be the first to know once I have a lead. Jelly? Nearly there. Good to see you. Or should I say Samadari? There's only one way to be sure. I need you to tell me something only you and I would know. When I used the cocoon to take on Itoka's form, what creature did I hunt? You didn't tell me. You never told me. It's really you. That's a relief indeed. I never told you my arrow struck a great wild boar. Prize for any hunter. Samadari is the only one who ever saw it. Sorry for doubting you, but I could think of no better way to expose him if he'd attempted to impersonate you again. I have to remain vigilant, after all, even though no news of his plots has reached me as of late. From here to Yanksha, people are on alert for a many-faced agitator within their mists. Not even a stray cat is beyond scrutiny. While Samadari can no longer act so brazenly, I'm afraid this means his trail's gone cold. We also have another problem. When he pushed me into the Ruby Sea, the remedy I carried was soaked in salt water. I'm afraid it's no longer effective. No doubt his plan from the start was to eliminate the one means we had of undoing the cocoon's mimicry. We're at a disadvantage too great to ignore. Which is why I intend to synthesize a new batch. I was just about to go procure the necessary ingredients from the supplier when you arrived. Why don't you join me? Sup? Never heard of such materials. Where are they found? Deep in the forest of Doral, a land beyond the Great Sea, and far, far to the west of here. Doral? I'm afraid my supply chain does not extend quite that far. Mine does. I feared as much. Doesn't help the materials can only be harvested when the season's right. Even were I to return home now, I doubt I could find what we need. We've no choice but to give up on the remedy. I'm sorry. Now we're at the mercy of Samadari's cunning. Hello there. Tell me, have you any salves that might ease my aching back? Sir, this isn't the apothecary. Where are your spectacles? Oh, yes, how could I forget? Ah, much better. Sometimes I forget I'm blind as a bat without these. Forgive me, Shirokashi. Excuse me, but do those bits of glass covering your eyes help you see better? She needs fucking glasses. That... She's short-sighted. That's it, isn't it? Well, yes. Are you unfamiliar with spectacles? I've seen folk wearing them before, but I always thought they were decorative, like my Joker. Tell me, where can I procure a pair of my own? Yamabuki's your man. He's a breadth of artisan contacts who'll ensure you receive a fine-tuned pair to your specifications. You'll find his shop on this very street. I'll look for him. Thank you. I'm sorry, you must be completely bewildered. I thought a failure of a hunter like me would never be able to aid you in battle, but I've just come to realize there's hope yet. But let's not crowd this stall any longer. Care to join me over there? Ever since I was a child, I've had trouble seeing things from afar. That's why my aim with the bow is so poor. I'm not fit to be a hunter. Never was. It's only natural that chores like washing sheets and preparing meals fell to me. But I always yearned to do more, to be more. I've looked up to Itoka ever since I can remember. No matter how hard I tried, I simply couldn't give up on my dream. I had to be just like her. So I begged her to teach me everything she knew, from the basics of drawing a bow to precise aiming techniques that few hunters use. Yet despite all her efforts, my sight failed me where it counted most. All my life, I thought this was simply how nature intended for me to be. I was content to accept my lot. But now that I know spectacles may improve my eyesight, I feel hope. If I could just try them, mayhap my arrows would fire true. I could join you in battle and maybe even strike down Samadare with my own arrow. We may have lost the remedy, but this would give us an element of surprise. So I have to try on spectacles for myself. Alright, let's go meet with Yamabuki. Pair of spectacles, is it? I can certainly get you your order in the pipeline, but I'm afraid there'll be a wait. I'm fresh out of supplies, you see. The next shipment isn't due for a number of weeks. Of course, if you're in a rush, you could roll up your sleeves and get the materials yourself. All you need is the glossy shell of an azure hawk's bill and a cluster of aurulent quartz. Bring them here and my affiliates can begin work immediately. Who knows what schemes Samadare might contrive should we let down our chase for weeks. Would you be willing to lend me a hand with procuring the materials? If we split up, we should be able to gather them in the blink of an eye. Quite the eager pair, I see. In that case, I dare say you'll be able to negotiate with the Blue Kojin for a carapace of splendid quality. Ah, I visited Tamamizo during my investigations in the Ruby Sea. I'll handle the shell. That leaves you with the aurulent quartz. Pray, look for a cavern near Shoal Rock in the Ruby Sea. Sprinkle some glittering gravel to lure a shoal Iwamushi from its lair within, and retrieve a cluster from its shell. Let's meet back here when we're finished. Oh, okay, I need to get in there. Yes, of course. Let me in you. I won't lie, I wasn't looking at the chat in-game. I have no idea what I was so annoyed about. I probably was annoyed, but I don't remember what it was about. Oh, it's because... It was probably because she's short-sighted, isn't it? Yeah. It's just... I understand why they've done it, but at the same time, like, come on. The first to return. I trust you have the quartz in hand. Excellent. This will make for a fine pair of lenses. Now we need only wait for your friend. I'm back. Sorry, didn't mean to alarm you like that. I spoke with the Kojin of the Blue as planned, but soon learned that Hawksbill shells have been sparse of late. They're reluctant to part with a single one. I was able to wear them down, though, until they proposed an exchange. If I dealt with the Red Kojin who'd invaded their fishing grounds, they'd spare a shell. I knew my bow would be useless, so I took a leaf out of After's book and fought them up close and personal. As you can see, I took quite the beating, but so did they. Maybe a little worse for wear, but the trouble was worth it. I have the shell as promised, and with it, your associates can get started. Indeed they can. Let us first measure your eyesight, and then they can get to work. This is incredible. Everything's so vivid. Why, I'm sure I could hit a bird over the horizon. Come, I want to fire some test shots at the sign over there. Oh, hold on. It seems like a fine way to earn the ire of the Sekisagumi. I'll prepare some targets for you. So, let's move somewhere less crowded. Of course. Thank you for going to the trouble. Nice. Did it! I really did it! After all these years, my aim is true. When we find Samadare, he won't know what hit him. I don't know if I can properly describe this feeling to you. After so long, I don't feel like someone pretending to be a hunter. Finally, I don't feel like a burden. As soon as I catch even a whiff of Samadare's tail, we stop him for good. When that moment arrives, please lend me your strength for one last time. Together, we'll retrieve the cocoon and return it to my people. And for some reason, I'm gonna give you some jelly. Your timing could not have been more impeccable. A person claiming to be an acquaintance of yours stopped by just moments ago, wishing to have a word. About Samadare, no less. They're presently waiting in my room, so give me just a moment and I'll bring them here. You look well. Forgive me for eschewing pleasantries, but there's an urgent matter I wish to discuss. When we first met in Reunion, what did you purchase at the market? What did we eat the night before our trial in Bardam's Metal? Oh, I believe we feasted on gulo gulo meat. You and Hian competed to see who could bring back the Greater Hall. It would seem you too have grown wary of imposters. Then we can proceed straight into the heart of the matter. You appeared in Mol Ilo a few days ago, claiming Hian had been driven to madness, that he was assembling an army in Doma with plans to conquer the Azim Steppe. For a blessing, we'd already received word from a Doman envoy that an agitator was mimicking others, and saw the ruse for what it was. Unfortunately, when we attempted to capture them, the imposter transformed into a sheep and disappeared amongst the bands grazing on the plains. When I informed our friends in Doma of the incident, I was told you've been using Kugane as a base to track down the perpetrator, and thought it best I apprise you of the happenings. Samadare. He won't relent. His schemes won't end until we make them pay. Make them end, even. You may discover a clue as to his whereabouts in Reunion. If anyone in the steppe has seen him, that's where he'll be. Now, I must alert the other tribes to this threat. May the winds speed your way. Off to the Azim Steppe then. With any luck, someone in Reunion will have insight to offer. Do-do-do. I have a Nyx begging for attention, so I am playing left-handed. Someone's stirring up trouble. A quarrel among the tribes is as common as the rising sun. Not a day goes by without it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have goods to sell. Kindly continue your inquiries somewhere else. Conflicts forbidden in Reunion. This is known. As for my tribe, all is at peace. I heard a rumour of interest, however. It seems Magne of the Oranir has been behaving strangely of late. Perhaps that's related to the matter you're investigating? I mean, Magni is just kind of odd in and of himself, to be honest. Conflict, not beside the normal Conflict, not beside the normal quarrels between tribes. Certainly no disputes on the scale you speak of. but I have heard rumours Magnai's been sneaking out from the Dawn Throne. Where could he be going? And to do what, I wonder? Oh, did he finally find his... whatever the name was? His moon. Were you able to learn anything of interest? I also heard rumours pertaining to this Magnai. One person even stated they saw him heading toward a place called Bardam's Metal not long ago. Mayhap his is the form Samadari's chosen to take on. Wherever the case may be, we'll find the answer at Bardam's Metal. We can't allow Samadari's depravities to go on any longer. Steel yourself. For next we face him, we're putting an end to all of this. Oh. Good, you're ready. Once the battle begins, there's no telling which form Samadari might take. An eminent warrior, a fearsome beast, or worse. He's also shown more scrupulous behaviour in his preparations of late. Whatever his form, we would do best to assume that he's thoroughly studied its strengths, and will use them to full effect. I'm not the feeble hunter I was before. Together with your martial might and my exacting eye, we will defeat him. At long last, Itoka shall have her vengeance, and my village shall see the cocoon returned. I don't believe it. My beautiful, bright sun. I would bask in your warmth till my flesh returns to the earth. Yep, that's Magnai. Has the feral dog gone rabid? You speak these honeyed words to lure me into your cot only to slit my throat as I sleep. Hush, fool! I am your Nama. Though we've had our disagreements in the past, I've come to understand my actions were born of love. Yet only now that I'm forced to wed do I realise this. Despite my shame, I wish to confess my feelings before it's too late. Wed? A Dothali beast like you? To whom? To what? Kian of Doma. By becoming kin, he seeks to leverage the influence of the Dothal to claim dominion over the steppe. I mean, he's kind of already the Khan. Doma knows no shame. Very well. I will consider your proposal. Far-fetched though it may be, I cannot overlook the possibility that you are my Nama. But first, we must gather our warriors. The Doman's impudence cannot go unpunished. We march for Doma come morrow's dawn. That's not Saturn. What are you doing here? Is it not obvious they are spies of Doma, come to quash any thought of resistance? You must kill them, quickly. But she is the Kagan. You two are quite the persistent pair. I'd hoped to strike at your backs from the shadows, but now you've forced my hands. I will select from my repertoire the greatest warriors I have witnessed, and use their strength to give you the death you so crave. Silver Tongue Samadare. Beginning with her. How dare you? When my arrow pierces your breast, Itoka will finally know peace. Finally a fight, yep. And of course, he's Itoka. Take it if you dare, from the hands of Itoka herself. With this artifact, her mastery is mine to wield. Even her command over beasts. Now come forth and swarm my foes. Oh, I actually need to kill these? Okay. Stubborn fools! Very well, I shall borrow the might of that brutish Oranir. You will scuttle about no more. Now to deliver the coup de grace with that Dothali devil. Ha ha ha! Naught of you will remain. Damn you, so be it. I will assume her form. Is it gonna be me? Oh! Tremble before the mighty auspice, Tamamo Goza. I'm not finished yet. curse to spell your doom. I shall drink deep of the ambient ether and render you to ash. Such baleful energy. We'll be in trouble if we don't do something. He's winded. Now's our chance. It matters not. So long as I have this power, my victory is assured. And, you know, if he knew any healers. No, I will not lose to vermin like you. Like, legitimately, he just needs to know one white mage with benediction, and suddenly he's got twice as much effective health. No! Nice. Itoka, it's finally done. What am I doing here? I feel as though I've just woken from the strangest dream. Well, you see... This cowardly cur assaulted you from behind and knocked you unconscious. You've shown the sun disgrace this day. You will feel his scorn impressed upon your flesh. You shall forget the warmth of his radiance. In the shadows you will scream, yet none will hear. Prepare yourself. Death would have been too good a fate for him. He deserves to spend the rest of his days feeling the weight of his crimes. Now we've honored Itoka's memory and reclaimed the cocoon, no words can express my gratitude. I can finally go home. But my community awaits our foremost hunter's triumphant return. What expression will come over their faces when the village disgrace arrives instead? I don't know if I can bear to see. Our journey to reclaim the Dreamweave cocoons come to an end at long last. Would that I could return home in high spirits. As I recall, you said Shashpia is the one who requested your help, yes? Let us make the journey back to Tuliolal and report to her all that has happened. Oh wait. There she is. I keep going into autopilot. You're back. Were you able to retrieve the Dreamweave cocoon? Itoka isn't with you? Kyuki? Goodness, you're alive. May her soul rest in the cocoon's embrace. Can't believe Hitoka is gone. Yes, our village's greatest hunter is lost to us, while its greatest failure survives. Here, take the cocoon back where it belongs. Home. I have no right to return. Don't be ridiculous. You're a child of the forest. You are our dear sister. You can always come home. The entire village has been worried sick about you. We all saw how crestfallen you were. So when you suddenly disappeared, we feared you took your life. For 3 days and 3 nights, we scoured land and water to find you. Yet look at you now, Quiki. Not only are you hale and whole, but you've reclaimed the cocoon too. I'm sure that Itoka's spirit, hunting in the forests above, is smiling down on you with pride. And she would much rather you take up her mantle and protect the village than wallow in grief and guilt over her death. Nothing escapes your gaze now, after all. Isn't that right? Thank you, Shashpia. It's settled. You'll return home with me, and finally our village can breathe a sigh of relief. It would be remiss of me not to thank you properly. For assisting Kuikui in reclaiming the Dreamweave cocoon, you have my heartfelt gratitude. I was little more than a liar and a hypocrite when we first met. But during our time together, I discovered that I'm so much more than that. And with the right tools, even I could become a hunter worthy of following in Itoka's footsteps. I'm truly grateful to you for helping me to see that. Farewell for now. I hope that one day our paths may cross again. Yeah, that took a while. That took about 2.5 hours. I mean, fair enough, we did do a dungeon partway through as well, but still, that took a while. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get anything else done today. Where am I going? Oh. I thought it had been long enough. Okay. If it makes you feel any better, all of them are kind of like that, and that Big Glasses plot point was one of, if not the most memorable. They were all light-hearted, silly fun time, but like, maybe too much so. You meant to put your Choco in there for me before logging off, but forgot. Don't worry about it. I mean, if you can, it would be helpful and appreciated, but don't feel like you have to. It'll just speed things up for me, that's all. I don't need the achievement, but it's just that this is the first time I've had a chance to get it. Because I don't play with people who... No. Icky. Wait, no, it's not sit ground, it's ground sit. But yeah, that will be where we call it for today. Hopefully... Hopefully we can rank up. Can we? Do we have enough time? Yeah, should do. Yeah, we'll rank up by next week. And then he goes up and stays up too late on Destiny. To be fair, I've done most of what I was planning on doing in Destiny. My issue at the moment is I'm losing steam in Final Fantasy. Like, I still have a bunch of stuff to farm, but it's just grindy shit. And it doesn't necessarily seem worth it. Like, I still need to finish the Bosnia relics and do a shit ton of Castrum and Delibrum. I still need to get the rest of the Mandeville relics and stuff like that. But just kind of can't be arsed. And Destiny is very... because there's like the solo ops stuff that you can do in it, or like even fire team stuff that you can just do solo. Like, it's very easy to just go on and sort of switch your brain off for even just half an hour. Even in half an hour, I could potentially do 2 or 3 solo ops, which is kind of nice. So yeah, I do need to find a new off-stream game though. I do, but that means that I need to actually decide that I'm not going to stream something, which is potentially harder than saying I will stream something. Yeah. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to call it there. And we should be back tomorrow. With what we'll probably do, given that I have been able to stream today, we'll probably start with Night Rain and then hopefully kill the goat. Once we do kill the goat, we can then pivot into probably blueprints, because there's still stuff I want to do in blueprints. Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much, and I'll catch you next time. Have a good one. Later.